a champion. When your cloud goes dark, when you lose your heart, gotta stand up straight, gonna rise like a champion.
Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning whenever you're watching this live training on why instilling a nighttime routine will help me move away from insomnia. And obviously, this is going to build upon the video I did about obviously why not getting enough sleep is not making you a lion. And I will link that in the comments below either side to me, whichever platform you're watching this on. After this video, so you can go ahead and watch that if you haven't already done so. So obviously today we're going to look at obviously instilling a nighttime routine. So if you're watching live, do come say hello in the comments, and if you're watching on the replay, don't forget to put hashtag replay. This is a statistic that alarmed me a little bit. One third of all Americans, so 1 in 3 Americans, don't get enough sleep on a regular basis, according to the CDC. Obviously, for everybody else, be it the Australians or the Brits, I couldn't find any information before coming on live today to find what statistically it was for obviously you and I being in that equation. If you're one of them, creating a bedtime routine, and I'm talking to the Americans now, creating a bedtime routine is one of the easiest steps you can take to enjoy a better sleep. Bedtime routines are a simple lifestyle change that can help your mind and body relax before bed. Obviously, I'm going to describe what is a bedtime routine, should I say. It's a routine is set based on activities you perform in the same order, so routine habits, every night in the 30 to 60 minutes before you go to bed. Bedtime routine can vary, but often include calming activities like taking a bath, reading, journaling, meditation, or all of them in consideration. So it's a mixture of what's going to work best for you. Why is a bedtime routine important, you might ask? Obviously, we are human beings and we're creatures of habit. Like any other routine, behavior, habit, bedtime routines establish habits that help our brains recognize when it's time to sleep. By performing the same activities in the same order every night, your brain comes to see those activities as a precursor to sleep. Obviously, we live in an age where we have made ourselves unconditioned to being creatures of habit. So say it. Why can't I stay up and watch my latest series on Netflix, Amazon Prime, on whatever TV show that you're watching? Don't have to be on those particular platforms. Are going to be a problem for that, because obviously, why I say it's a problem is because when we are winding down to go to sleep, we're creating serotonin. So we're creating a hormone that enables us to obviously relax, unwind, and go to sleep. So we've got every device under the sun to do the complete opposite. So be it this bad boy, this the actual I couldn't think what it is. The computer that's in front of me is another. The other being the television, the tablet, you name it. Obviously emits blue light. So it's a light that does the complete opposite. So it, instead of us going to sleep or rewinding down and being able to shut off for the day, our brains instantly go click oh, it's daylight outside. I need to do the opposite. I need to wake up. So obviously, these are devices that have aided us with things, but obviously, it's a deterrent. It's something that is not going to be ideal for obviously creating a sleep hygiene is another word for a bedtime routine. Obviously, bedtime routines play an important role in reducing late night stress and anxiety, the kind of worrisome thoughts that keep you up at night. So anxious thoughts and ruminations, and I had to obviously go look up what rumination is. Obviously, a system that obviously, if you don't nip it in the bud, can cause insomnia in the long run, because obviously you're scared of the thing that's making you not sleep, and it makes you obviously not be able to sleep because you're that terrified. Obviously, it activates your mind and your sympathetic nerve response. So this is the sympathetic nerve response system is your fight flight. So obviously it serves us to have a fight or flight response. Obviously the more recent one is freeze as well. When we were obviously in the Stone Age, because we're trying to run away from things, or we're gonna stand and fight. Obviously, when it's in modern day stress scenarios, it doesn't serve us, because obviously the magnitude of the stressor is either something we have control of or we don't have control of it. And ultimately, we don't want to relinquish control, but that's obviously another topic for another day. Left unchecked, these thoughts can intensify and develop into insomnia, like I said before. But by following a bedtime routine, you keep your mind focused on other tasks and encourage yourself to relax instead. The importance of bedtime routines stem back to our childhood. All of all on its own, a consistent bedtime routine has shown to relieve cranky infants and their parents, obviously helping children fall asleep faster and wake up less frequently during the night. Bedtime routines help children connect with their natural circadian rhythm. So the the definition between night and day. So obviously we can blame electricity for adults not naturally adhering to the circadian rhythm, because ultimately we can manufacture an artificial daylight. So we can work longer, we can obviously heat our homes, etc., etc., etc. Obviously, kids, and obviously I'll throw in a story of myself. I used to always complain when I had to go to bed. I think it was 8 p.m. at night, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe say 7 p.m. at night. And because I grew up on an international base, I had neighbors who were Italian, and their kids were allowed to stay up later. So I always complained, well, why is that particular individual allowed to stay up later? And they were younger than me, to add to it, to the fuel to the fire. However, I'm accustomed to that circadian rhythm, that it is getting dark, it's time to go to sleep, and then obviously wake up, feel more relaxed, and obviously start the day in a positive nature. It obviously, coming back to the point with the children, it calms them down. It practices healthy habits that promote good sleep. Bedtime routines have also been found to have profound positive impacts in other areas of children's lives, including better memory, mental health, and attention. But we go on to obviously the adults now. The bedtime routine is just as important. Bedtime routines help your brain separate the night from day, clears your mind, and allows the body to de-stress from the day's stresses and relax into sleep. we move on to obviously giving you now tips to implement good bedtime routine or good sleep hygiene. Try these first ideas. I'll bring on somebody. Somebody's put. I appreciate that. Obviously, the first one is decide on a set bedtime. And obviously, this is where, having a set routine Monday to Friday and sleeping in Saturday, Sunday is not ideal for having a good bedtime routine, because if you had two set times in which you went to sleep, and this is why most people are cranky come Monday morning, as they're ramping themselves up Sunday night. Obviously the ones that don't work, it's tit for tat, but obviously for the ones that are working, you spend Friday looking forward to the weekend, Saturday rolls over, Sunday we're building up for the anticipation of starting the working week again, and everybody would, for the majority, say, "Oh, I hate Monday." But if you had the same set bedtime Monday to Sunday, you would feel the exact same way Monday through Sunday, and you can't recuperate. Excuse me. You can't recuperate. Obviously, lost sleep that you've had doesn't exist. It's not possible. So setting a bedtime that's the same every single night is massive important. And obviously, I'm going to go into detail as to why. As part of your natural sleep's wake cycle, your brain starts winding down for sleep a few hours before bedtime. You can use your bedtime routine to make that process more effective. First, decide on your bed and wake up times and stick to them every day. Following a consistent sleep routine helps train your brain to naturally feel tired when it's bedtime. Next, schedule a time to begin your bedtime routine every night, anywhere between 30 minutes to 2 hours before bed. If you have to, set an alarm if you need to. Point number 2, leave the electronics alone. Obviously, I said why early on, and if you're joining in now, every electronic device has a blue light. You can't naturally see it, but be it if it's a filter of such. So, say my computer has got one. Your phone, if you put it into night mode, will have a filter that is going to dim down the luminosity of that blue. The blue light is still coming off the phone because it's an electronic device. That has a secondary knock-on effect on your sleep, because your brain is trying to wind down. So say you did point 1 and you didn't leave the electronic devices alone. The work that you've done 30 minutes to 180 minutes before will be undone, because ultimately you're winding down in those 30 to 180 minutes. Slightly longer than that. So say 30 to 2 hours. If you go and look at your phone, say email, text, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, obviously I'm not going to go on and on. You're going to obviously reverse that process, and ultimately your brain's going to go, okay, James, it must be daylight outside, so let me wake you up instead, as opposed to you wanting to go to sleep. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail of why you want to leave the phone alone. Despite what you think, your favorite Netflix show, input anything what you want to put in there, show does not help you relax, nor does scrolling on Instagram. Electronic devices, including computers, televisions, smartphones, tablets, all emit strong blue light, as I said. When you use these devices, that blue light floods your brain, tricking it into thinking it's daytime. As a result, your brain suppresses melatonin production and works to stay awake. The Americans have obviously heard of melatonin supplementation, be it like a little tablet. If you did the same thing and then resorted to using one of those devices, the same effect would happen. So don't play tricks on your brain. Say goodnight to your electronics at the beginning of your bedtime routine. If you can, avoid using electronics in the evening as much as possible. That is not that's easier said than done. Be sure to turn on your phone's red light filter well before your bedtime routine even begins. With a be it iPhone, Android device, that's quite easy to do it. It's got a setting within it that you can pre-program your device to obviously do that. My computer's got a built-in program that it does it based on my working schedule. So the time I start work, the computer is slowly reducing that blue light filter. So say I work in the next 4 hours to 6 hours, which would be 8 p.m. over here, this screen would be bright orange as opposed to blue. So if you so coming back to my point, so if you accidentally look at it, it won't be as much as a disruptive. I know getting rid of a electronic device completely is hard, but if you wanted to go a step further than that with your bedtime routine, when it comes to the electronic device, is to leave it outside of the bedroom. So it for some people that I know within the fitness space, this doesn't even go upstairs. It's left downstairs, and it's put on airplane mode, and then they pick up their messages, their notifications in the morning. That's obviously the progression on towards that. Step 3: have a light snack or bedtime tea. Having heavy meals and drinking before bed can lead to indigestion, acid reflux, and middle of the night restroom trips that disrupt your sleep. However, going to bed hungry can also upset your stomach and make it hard to fall asleep. Find a healthy middle ground by calming your stomach with a light snack like a piece of fruit or yogurt. Cherries, grapes, strawberries, nuts, and oats all have high melatonin content. Non-caffeinated herbal teas, especially ones like chamomile, or lavender, or another nice way to calm the mind and induce sleep. Just make sure you use the restroom before bed. Number 4, take a warm bath, or if you're of the shower variant, you could take a warm shower, and you could combine. This is the bath or the shower. You could combine some sort of calming oils, like I said, with the drink lavender. You could obviously put that in your bathtub, or there is shower gels, and I've got one that's lavender based, and that obviously help the muscles to relax and go from there. As part of your sleep wake cycle, your body experiences various hormonal changes throughout the day. One of these is melatonin production, which begins in the evening to prepare you for sleep. At the same time, your core body temperature drops. Scientists have found that mimicking that nighttime drop in body temperature via a warm bath or warm shower can trigger a similar sleepy reaction. Consider taking a warm bath about an hour before you go to sleep. Your body will heat up from the water and cool down quickly as the water evaporates, creating a sensation that makes you feel tired and relaxed. Step number 5, listening to music. 62% of people listen to music to help them sleep. That's a statistic I thought was quite surprising. The genre isn't important, so long as the music relaxes you. Close your eyes, listen to the music, and let it distract you from your worries and calm you down. Other types of audio can be good for sleep too, like ambient music sounds and white or pink noise. Pink noise, like rain or waves, has been shown to improve sleep quality, while white noise can help you fall asleep faster. I can't listen to pink noise because obviously sometimes the reverse effect will have to me that if I listen to anything to do with water, I have to go to the bathroom. So for me, I don't always do it to alleviate that. I'll probably do more of either some sort of calming music or um, the white noise to obviously fall asleep faster. You can find playlists for different types of white noise on Spotify or smart home devices like Alexa. Number 6, stretch, breathe, and relax. Relaxation, relaxation techniques like deep breathing exercises or progressive muscle relaxation (PMR) allow you to let go of physical and mental tension by instead focusing on your body and mindfully relaxing. Also, a daily yoga routine has been shown to improve sleep quality, and a few simple stretches or massage before bed can prevent cramping. Some light yoga, stretching, and or breathing exercises can go a long way towards relaxing you into sleep. See what works for you and add it into your bedtime routine. Number 7, practice meditation. Light yoga, regular meditation practice can improve your sleep quality. Mindfulness meditation teaches people to allow their thoughts and manage emotions, enabling sleep onset rather than stressing about not falling asleep. You can practice mindful meditation by simply closing your eyes and allowing yourself to focus on your thoughts and feelings. Observe your thoughts, but don't judge them. Deep breathing and visualization are other forms of meditation. You can find many guided meditation exercises for free on smartphone apps or YouTube. Number 8, read a good book. Reading is a common bedtime routine that begins in childhood. Parents often read to their children as part of a bedtime routine. When incorporating reading into a bedtime routine as an adult, stay away from exciting genres like suspense and action. A book with a plot that's drama free, even boring, can be best. Number 9, write down a to do list or journal. Many people find restorative to journal, and doing so and even lets them sort out their thoughts and feelings before going to bed. If the idea of journaling overwhelms you, consider starting a simple to do list. One study found that taking 5 minutes before bed to jot down a quick to do list of tasks that need to be done the following day significantly sped up sleep onset. Number 10, prep your bed. Dedicate part of your bedtime routine to transforming your bedroom into a sleep oasis. Make a ritual out of making things as cool, dark, and as quiet as possible. Set the thermostat to somewhere between 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 15 to 21 degrees Celsius. Turn off any noisy electronics, dim the lights, and pull down your blackout curtains. Put things away and remove clutter. Enjoy your favorite scent with an arom. I can't even read that. I can't even say the word today. Aromatherapy diffuser. Now for the final piece of your bedroom routine. Get into bed. Make this the very last thing you do, and once your head hits the pillow, don't do anything else other than try to fall asleep. You want your brain to see your bed as a place of slumber, and that's all. That's not the only thing. Obviously, when it comes to a bedtime routine, the only thing that you should be doing in your bedroom, excuse me, is obviously sleeping or having sex. That's about all you should be doing in the bedroom, and that's about it. I'm gonna read a few more of the comments. I'll see. I apologize to this person that I didn't see. That's my problem. I think I'm always in the phone watching YouTube before I try to go to sleep. And with electronic things like that, um, YouTube's not going anywhere. Facebook's comments aren't going anywhere. Facebook messages aren't going anywhere. And obviously, I'll separate the two for this question, or should I say answer, not question. When it comes to Facebook, Instagram, excuse me, Twitter, TikTok, those messages aren't going to go, those comments and messages aren't going to go anywhere. And obviously, this is a LinkedIn article I read a couple of weeks ago in terms of the overwhelm and the stress of responding to something that's urgent doesn't actually come from the recipient. The stress actually comes from the person that's going to reply. So you deem it's a matter of urgency, but they don't. So in terms of, in terms of looking at things and stressing over it, don't worry over it, mull over it, and obviously you probably write a more appropriate response having slept on it. Obviously in terms of YouTube, trying to do it before bed, it is obviously going into your settings on the phone or the tablet, and obviously reducing the effect of the blue light. Obviously, if you can detract from it completely and look at it another time, be it the next day. YouTube is probably another one of those ones that those videos that are on, it's not a loop, a carousel of, what's the most thing that's appropriate to you to follow. Obviously, that's where obviously TikTok is done even faster than that, but you can put that in your watch later folder. You can obviously, and that's not going to have any impression on the algorithm. That the stuff is going to send you after will be based on what you're consuming, so that stuff's not going to go anywhere. So it's looking at your behavior in terms of not letting the consumption of the content. I can include this as that, as don't do it late at night, because obviously the internet's not going anywhere, so that information will be there tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and obviously it needs to not detract from your rest and recovery, which is what sleep is for. Is for the brain to deload, as I mentioned, the stress of the day, or actually get a greater understanding of what's happened. That's what your dreams or nightmares are. It's your brain making a highlight reel of what's happened or what's transpired. And obviously the recovery process is for your body to recover physically, to repair itself, and obviously go again the next day. Person's put very hard. Oops. So if it's very hard, I'm not saying going from 0 to implement all 10. It's implementing the ones that you think right here and now. What can I implement tonight as people watching today or whenever you're watching the future? Of those 10, which is the easiest one for me to implement now? And then you can obviously go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. I don't do all 10, I'll be honest. I will do maybe more some nights than others, based on what's happened that particular day and what's happened in that particular evening. The aspect of setting an alarm to do it is something that I've done in the past, so I know that we haven't touched upon like the morning routine. You can backward engineer morning routine, and then based on the time that you get up, how many hours that you need based on how you feel that particular day. I'm gonna throw out 8 hours as a guide. If I get up at say 6 a.m., I need to go to bed at 10 o'clock, and that's obviously asleep at 10 o'clock. Thus, I would get, yeah, that's right. Just checking my math. I would get 8 hours all the way through from start to finish. Obviously, we don't look at that. As adults, we look at, okay, I need to get up at 6 a.m., but my favorite TV program doesn't finish till 11 o'clock, 11:30, maybe midnight. That 8 hours, six and a half, maybe 7 at a push. If you can't operate at 7 hours sleep, obviously you're going to be a little bit more exhausted. I use obviously the F word in the description because your body hasn't got the optimum recovery that it needed. The body will let you know that if that's not the case, you're gonna be a bit sluggish, etc., etc., etc. So obviously that is today's video in a nutshell. Obviously, what I'm gonna do to finish and summarize, obviously, there's gonna be aspects of pain when it comes to this community per se, the amputee community, to do with phantom limb pain. If this is something that you wanted me to follow up with either Andy Graham or somebody else, in terms of we're looking at, implementing or instilling a nighttime routine to combat both insomnia and phantom pain, so you can be able to implement a regimen that's going to obviously not keep you up awake because you're in pain, put that in the comments, and obviously I will do my utmost to get that scheduled as soon as possible. But if we come back to the element of stress, overwhelm, and things of that nature, excuse me, is obviously implementing those aforementioned aspects. Prepping your bedroom to a certain temperature. Is your bedroom potentially right now too cold? Is your bedroom too hot? Those are aspects that your body is obviously gonna do to counteract that, and you're gonna be either wake up cold or wake up too hot. The aspect of the to-do list of jotting things down is another way of doing it. It's allowing yourself to decompress in a way that any idea, any thought that you've got to do the next day, you write it down. I won't show a piece of paper, but say you wrote it down on a piece of paper. I won't show the actual paper, but that information is not going to go anywhere. It's set in stone, and you could potentially, and I've done this with one of my clients, of if you wrote it down, you can expand from that idea as opposed to, I need to remember this thing, lock it away. How many times have you woken up the next day and forgotten what you had in mind the night before? I sure have. So if you write it down, it's there. Okay, the importance of it might decrease the next day, but at least you've given it importance enough to kind of go, okay, this is something I need to address. Let me write it down and then go from there. The other aspect of writing things down to do as either journaling or a to-do list is looking at, I'm going to call them chores, be it things you need to do in preparation the following day. So be it, do you need to make your lunch before you go to work? This is something I had to do before I come back into coaching. But I prepped it Sunday for the whole week. So it's not something you've got to think about Monday through Friday. I need to get up 30 minutes earlier to prep my lunch. And obviously then you're running around like a headless chicken before you go out the door. That's something you could do the night before. If we look at number 8, potentially you could combine these two, the music and the book, the audio book of listening. Obviously, if it's not action or suspense, but coming back to something that is relaxing, you don't even have to do the reading. Somebody else does it for you. So that's killing two birds with one stone, as an example. Practicing meditation. I do this both ways around. I do it in the evening and I do it throughout the day, and I do it first thing in the morning. For me, that's obviously a habit that I've instilled over, through the height of the pandemic, as in if something I could have control of my emotions, and obviously if anything went astray, I can bring something back, gain a baseline, and then we go again. From a nighttime perspective, it helps you to obviously relax. So be it if it's waves, water, what's some of the other meditation ones? It's guided meditation with people talking, Asian music, so say Japanese, Chinese, like flutes, what's some of the others? But the list is endless in terms of like meditation. It's gained such a foothold because it's important. We look at the stretch and the breathing and the relax. Obviously, breathing is very important, but from a space of like relaxation, if your breaths are fast and rapid, obviously you're either exercising or you're on a lot of stress. So being able to control your breathing, to be able to be aware of it, is another word of looking at. So the difference of, am I breathing from my shoulders, so like this, or am I breathing that way from my diaphragm? It can tell if there's any tension there. So being aware and recognize it, to be able to bring that down and calm and relax is very important, irrespective of the nighttime routine or not. Obviously, we covered number 5, the bath, self-explanatory. Obviously, the third component, a light snack. Obviously, having a heavy meal before you go to sleep, the body's trying to do two things. One is trying to lower the body temperature to help you sleep. However, by having a heavy meal, your stomach is still doing a job. thus your body temperature is obviously going to change. So your body's trying to do two separate things all in one go. So that's an added bonus to that one. If people are still with me, if you're watching on the replay, let me know if that makes sense. Obviously, we talked about the electronics. If we can go, and obviously, the first one is setting, and this is probably the pinnacle of the lot. Is setting a time to go to bed, and you stick to it. No if, buts, or maybes. It's you treat yourself like a child, and you stick to it. And obviously, Netflix, Amazon Prime, you can schedule these things to watch it on the weekend. It's not going anywhere. It's a series for a reason, and you look to obviously stick to it and then go from there. But it's stick to it Monday through Sunday, not Monday to Friday, and give yourself allowances of I can lie in on the weekend, as that's going to bite you in the ass come Monday. It's going Monday to Sunday, the same time going to bed, same time waking up. It's going to be hard in the short term, but obviously the long run, you don't even need an alarm clock. So I hope you enjoyed this live today.